Hello, guys. So, welcome back to the sixth episode of the Lean Talks. And today, I'm especially super excited because today is one of the favorite topic, like building a resume, building a rock solid resume. So, I hope you guys are able to hear me. Just let me know, like type anything, hi or hello, in the chat section if you guys are able to hear me. I'll have a look at the chat section. So, yes, let me share my screen as well. Awesome. Awesome. Hey guys, it's really great that you guys are here. And today it's going to be super informative webinar. And trust me, like I'm going to tell you like every tip which I have when it comes to resume building and what all things do I follow, what all things did did I follow, and what all things do I suggest people to follow when it comes to resume making. So yes, without waiting further, I see a lot of people are already here. So yes, I won't make make you wait for more. I mean, wait more. So yes, let's get started now. And I hope you are excited as I am. And just as always, I will be keeping an eye on the chat section. So if you have any doubt, like you might be already knowing that I take these initiatives so that I can actually help you guys and I can actually clear your doubts. So yes, feel free, no matter how small, no matter how big, or like any doubt you have in your mind, just feel free to ask in the chat section, and I would really love to at least try my best to answer it. And yes, so let's continue. So, what did we discuss last week? Last week was all about finding your target audience. If as a blogger, as a vlogger, as a content creator, or if you are working on your personal brand. So yes, these are the things which we discussed not last week. I'm sorry I messed it up. So yeah, initially the lean talks were every week, but yes, it was a little bit difficult for me to go live every week because content creating the content takes time. And for these lean talks especially, I put in a lot of efforts. Like I do a lot of research on what should be the best topic to deliver my content on, and what are the best practices, what are the things you should follow, and what are the things you shouldn't follow. So yes, that's why I changed it to once in 2 weeks instead of every week. So yes, what did we discuss last fortnight, not last week? I'm so sorry, there's a typo here. But yes, okay. So I discussed about various things like what is a personal brand and why should you invest in your personal brand. And then I told you the 4 steps to find your target audience. And this target audience applies to you as a personal brand as well, not only to huge companies and branding when it comes to companies or startups. Even we as an individual level, when we are trying to build a personal brand, we should also be clear about our target audience. And then I discussed about different forms of content, long forms of content like blogs, videos, and so many things were there, right? And then the short forms of content like tweets, and memes and all those things. Then we compared, this was the best part in last lean talks, which was comparing various social media platforms like LinkedIn. We actually compared the demographics and the statistics of platforms like LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. So yes, if you are interested in knowing about all these things, you can just directly hop on to the my last episode 5 of the lean talks. You can go to my channel and check that out. So yes, I see a lot of questions in the chat section as well. Like Rohit has asked me how to make resume for product-based company. So Rohit, this webinar is actually for resume making itself. So your question is actually very broad, and we are going to discuss all those things in this webinar itself. So yes, and Vedika, how do we get aware of internships or big I think you wanted to write vacancies, but you wrote vaccines. But okay, so yes, even everyone wants a vaccine to come right now. But yes, all right. So how do we get aware of internships or vacancies? Are a lot of resources. First of all, I'm going to discuss one thing which is mentioned here as well, like 5 fail 50 win method. Apart from that, I believe that you should there are a lot of communities out there, like you can just you can just do a little bit of exploration on Google on job openings and all those things. You'll find hundreds of Telegram groups and hundreds of LinkedIn pages, which Coding Club is one of them. I'm not sure if you have heard of it or not, but yeah, they generally keep on updating on their WhatsApp groups and LinkedIn page that these recently, I think PayPal has also started recruiting, and they keep on updating. So yes, you can, Vedika, I think you'll have to do a little bit of research here. And since it's a little bit off topic today because I want to keep it limited to resume making only. All right. So, Keshav and the Dope Code asked me, will you be reviewing my resume? Awesome. Awesome. Oh, Dope Code is in class 12th. I'm so glad to meet you, man. It's awesome that you are making your resume in class 12th itself. And Keshav asked me, would you be reviewing my resume? Yes, that's in the second slide. So basically, I had a question for you guys on that, but yeah, I'll ask you. Just hold on for a minute. But yes, okay. Gunjan asked me, which tool do you use to make your slides? I use Google Slides, man. Google Slides itself. So yeah, a little bit with a little bit of customization. Like I add a shape here with the Lean programmer. This is a vector, and this is the normal thing. So yes, a lot of people are here, and let's get started now. And it's going to be really really amazing. So today it's going to be a very long discussion, and I'm sure it's not going to get over any time before 7 or 7:15 p.m. So tighten your seat belts and go drink water if you want to, because I'm going to overload with you with information, lots of information today. So yes, the like today I'm going to discuss first thing about is the 5 fail and 50 win method. For those who have already been following me and seeing my webinars, you must be aware of this particular method, which I often talk about. And but for those who are new, I think you should also be aware about this 5 fail and 50 win method. So I'll discuss it very quickly in 2 or 5 minutes, and then we'll move on to the questions which you might have in your mind. And then the three unspoken rules, basically they are four, but the fourth one is kind of common. So yes, I name it three unspoken rules. And then we'll be discussing about whether or not to use a template for resume making. Then things like ATS optimization. I'm not sure how many people are aware about this thing called ATS, but yes, I'm going to discuss a lot about it today, and I'm I'm 100% sure that you guys are going to find it informative, because ATS is something which all of you are going to encounter at some point or the other in your life. So yes, and then we'll be discussing about resume format, the overview, and each section we are going to dig deep into. And then finally, my most favorite part, the resume making tips, the no nonsense and no bullshit resume making tips. And then the ninth part is the questions in your mind revisited. And after that, the AMA again. So yes, and the side by side, I'll keep looking at the chat section as well. So Anushka just asked me that there are a few skills or tech stuff that we are aware about 40%, or just used a little bit of it, like JUnit, for example. Yeah, I know how to use it. Should I add such skills in your resume? Totally depends, Anushka. It totally depends. So in some cases, definitely you should. In some cases, definitely you should not. So we are going to discuss all those scenarios here, right here in this webinar. Samuel asked me, which level of project should I include for web development? Can you give some examples for internships and placement? Level of project which are complex enough to show that you are competent enough, but not and creative as well. Like some projects are very very simple, like let's say hello world application or to do app or tic tac toe. These are very very basic projects. No one is going to it won't catch the attention of your recruiter or your reviewer. So yes, you might not want to include that. But any project which is either creative or complex enough to show your competency in that particular domain is good for displaying. And Jay asked me that if I am looking for software position developer, okay, should I add my part-time job as a work experience? I have done. Yes, definitely you should add. It's a work experience. It's a legit work experience. Why should you not add? Like if the part-time job is, of course, like if it's in related to tech, then you should add. Pawan asks, any suggestion for front-end developer roles for freshers? What to prepare? There are a lot of things, Pawan. Like JavaScript, React JS interviews, and a lot. I keep on posting. I think you can follow me on LinkedIn. Like just go to my profile and go to this all see all, and after going to the see all thing, just go a little bit down. Not here. In the posts, in the post section, you can just see I actually posted about it a few like I mean, a few days ago, like important interview questions and concepts for React JS. In that, I have mentioned a lot of things, and I also mentioned important JavaScript questions, interview questions, and concepts. So yes, you might want to have a look at it. All right, all right. I see a lot of questions coming, and that's great. But let me go on with the discussion today. So, guys, I want your attention right now. Okay, so Rishi asked me a very, very important question like, how many pages should a resume be? Ideally, I have heard that companies prefer a one page resume, but I just had a Google coding challenge and somehow I got away with 3 pages. Yes, the answer for it is it actually does not matter too much, but it matters a lot as well. So, yes, basically, all those things are the questions in your mind which we are going to discuss, which we are going to open in section 2, but we are going to close in section 9. So, have a little bit of patience. Great. So, but before that, before we go forward, about the resume review thing. So, basically, I was getting a lot of DMs on LinkedIn that they don't want to get their resumes reviewed on call on live because again it's their own privacy as well, and there are a lot of things, right? Like they're not comfortable with sharing your resume in public, and that's a very valid point. So I want to ask you guys, how do you want to take it forward? Like do you want me to have a separate call? Like I can't have a one-on-one with every one of you. Like it would be impossible. So do you want to have it on LinkedIn DM is itself? Like would that be comfortable with you? Like I can't in LinkedIn DM. I definitely can't guarantee my response before 48 hours at least. But yeah, but if you can wait and if it's more comfortable with you on LinkedIn DMs, then I think even I'm fine with it. But I'm saying that's like you will have to follow up with me for at least 1 or 2 times because my LinkedIn DMs are a little bit, not little bit, a lot overflowing these days. So yes, okay, Pavan, review on YouTube. This can also work with me. What about others? Just let me know. Even I think that review on DMs would be much better because most of the people might not be willing to share their resumes on a public platform like YouTube. So, okay, so I see. Great, 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 awesome. So I see many people saying here only, and many people saying okay, yes. So for, I think we can do one thing. After going through the content for today, I can spend around 30 minutes to actually review the resumes of the people who are willing to share it on YouTube. And yes, even I feel that LinkedIn is better. So many people are saying even LinkedIn is better. So yes, for like let's say 3 or 4 resumes here on YouTube, just for a sample, and then you can DM me on LinkedIn, and that would be better because um, YouTube in review in YouTube by hiding personal details. I can't do that, Satish. I mean, this platform does not provide any tool to hide. Okay, so great, great, great. So most of them are feeling LinkedIn is better, and some of them are even agreeing for YouTube. So let's do one thing. Let's do one thing for. Okay, yes, Keshav, that's a very good point. Great. So do one thing, guys. I'll review first. Like just open this thing called menti.com. So this is like this menti.com, menti.com, and in here just type this code which is 9259210. 9259210. I'll copy and paste it in the chat section as well. 9259210. 9259210. And after you do that, you can like type in your res- drive link of your resume here, and for the first, let's say, 4 or 5 resumes which I get, like, it's a very simple thing, it's an ask me anything, and you can just type in your hey, my resume link, uh, something like random thing, and then Madhav, something like this. So once you submit it, and I'll be able to see it on this screen. So I will be able to open the link which you provide here. So yes, we can do one thing. Like, I don't want to make this lean talks very big as well. Like, if I review everything on YouTube, then it would become, it would become 3 or 4 hours video. But yes, so yes, we can go for first 2 or 3 responses which I get here. But yes, please make sure that you are sending the link only if you are willing to like, if you don't have any problem in me opening the resume on my on YouTube live, because there is no option for me to actually hide your personal details. And please keep in mind before sending this, like, even if I open this, it will be directly visible to all, and it will remain on this YouTube channel. So you are sending your resume on your own consent. So yes, please make sure that there's no, like, you are willing to share. But yeah, if people are more comfortable on LinkedIn, then I can actually revert back to their DMs on LinkedIn. But yes, that would take me at least 48 hours, or at least 1 or 2 follow-ups, because I am a little busy these days. But yes, so yeah, you guys can just ask your question here as well. Great, so let's continue forward. So the first thing for today, 5 fail 50 win method, and it's not going to be easy, but it will be worth it. So what exactly is this 5 fail 50 win method? People who have already attended my other webinars, I'm damn sure they know this, but for the people who are here for the first time, so this is the method which I followed in my second year as well, and which I prefer, which I sort of suggest everyone to follow. Because why, we will discuss it later on. But what's the method? So the method is, right now it's a homework for you guys to go and make a list of 50 companies or startups in which you want to work, your dream companies or your dream startups in which you want to work. Just make a list of them and pick up any one of them and apply for it, and forget for 3 or 4 days, and keep working on your skills. Even if you don't receive a reply, like, maybe if you are applying through, if you're contacting the HR through email, after 3 or 4 days send a follow-up. If you are applying through an online portal, you can't do anything about it. But yes, if you are sending a email, do follow up about 3 or 4 days, and another follow up about one after 1 week. And even if like, and then just forget it, keep working on your skills. But even after 2 weeks, if you do not hear anything from them, or let's say after 3 weeks, if you're not getting any response back, just introspect on where did you go wrong, and keep working on your skills for 1 month. And like, exactly the skills, it might be competitive programming. So basically have that target in mind. So first will always be a rejection, and the sad thing is that they are not even going to tell you that you are rejected. They'll just not reply. So just assume it as a rejection if you don't get any reply for, let's say, 3 weeks. And then after that, work insanely hard for 1 month, and just keep that target in mind, that the next attempt, I should make my profile so good that they are compelled to sort of reply to me to select my resume, and so on. So basically, I know there's no new thing in this, but the difference between working aimlessly and following this 5 fail 50 win method is that every month you will have a target, that I want to make this month, I want to make my resume or my profile so good that they can't ignore me. And if you have that specific target in your mind, you can perform better. I know learning we should not focus too much on our like profile or our performance. But the thing is, there's no harm in doing that. And you'll notice that if you have a target in mind, you will learn even more. A very simple example, if you guys have done a few internships in past, let's say any internship like web development internship, you must be aware that you learn a lot when you are under pressure of deadlines. They might be not hard deadlines, but yes, let's say you got a project and you have to complete it within 2 months. You will learn a lot because you have that particular state of mind that within 2 months I have to first learn this particular concept and technology and tech stack, and then I have to implement it. So with that end goal in mind, it's common sense that we are going to perform better. So yes, um, thanks a lot, Sahaj and Bhavani, and thanks a lot. I'm really glad that you like my content. So yes, so the first one is going to be short rejection, because if you're lucky, you might get an interview, but if in most of the cases you're not getting going to get any response. So after 1 month, pick up the second company from that list and apply. And in most of the cases, out of those 50 companies, like most of them will have openings, like every company has openings. So yes, do apply, and every month keep on improving. So if you have this particular target in mind, I bet that at the end of every month, you will be able to see the difference. If we just, like, I had this habit of going aimlessly in my life in my first year of BTech degree, and like at the end of my first year as well, I could not see any major difference in what I have done. But from the time since I started following this 5 fail 50 win method, I was able to actually see what's the main difference in myself within 1 month. And that's what I would recommend to everyone, that every month set a target for yourself, and sort of try to measure your progress, like how far have I come in this month. So yes, that was a sort of philosophical talk, but I hope you're going to follow that. And of course, remember, it's always a competition between you and you. Like there's no other person, there's no other challenge, there's no other anything in this world. It's always about you versus yourself, you versus who you were in yesterday, who you were last week, who you were last month, who you were last year. If at the start of a new year you are not able to figure out what difference have you made in your life and in someone else's life, then sad to say, it's not worth it, right? So I hope that was enough motivation for you guys. But yes, so yes, let me see that I have got a lot of, yes, okay, so I have got a lot of sort of links for resume here. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, guys, this is enough for the online profile review. Please don't send any more, because otherwise the video will go. Others can send me their links on LinkedIn, and I'll give my feedback. But yes, do not forget for a follow up, because follow up is very very important. Because as I posted as well once, that there is no one who would want to ignore your message, just trust me. But the thing is that people actually get a lot of DMs in their LinkedIn Messenger, and it's insanely impossible to keep a track of every DM. So yes, do follow up. There's nothing wrong in following up, and trust me, by following up once or twice, you will get a reply. But yeah, for the people who have texted me in last 2 weeks, I think I was very very busy, like I was too tight on time, and I was not able to reply to anyone. But yes, tomorrow is a Sunday, I'll try to go through all the DMs. All right, so the next section is the questions in your mind. Resume making is a very very challenging task, isn't it? And it's super super difficult. And I used to feel like in my second year, or I don't know when I was trying to make my resume for the first time, I was like, oh God, what the hell is this? And I'm not able to do this. I'm not able to figure out what to do now. So these were the questions in my mind, and these might be the questions in your mind as well. And I think some of you have also asked me as well, like, should I use the template? Like, should I go for a template or not? Should I use any online tool to make my resume? Or to keeping this in a funny way, my guru told me to write a one-page resume, but I have a lot more to mention. What should I do? Yes, even I prefer a one-page resume, but is it a hard and fast rule? And what difference does it make if you don't have a one-page resume? Or how to make my resume look different from others, what should I do to get noticed, should I have more than one resumes, how to add proper keywords, no one replies me on LinkedIn, what to do. This question is easy, follow up after 48 hours. No one replies to my mails, what should I do, follow up after 3 or 4 days, next follow up after 1 week, next follow up after 2 weeks, and after 3 or 4 follow ups just give up, and okay, and I never hear back, what should I do, what would be the best format for an ideal resume. All these questions, and I bet there would be so many more questions in your mind right now, but keeping the like sort of climax wala surprise for the end, I am going to answer these questions at the end of this presentation. I hope you're not angry with me. All right, so I see some questions here, like team DevOps champions ask me, I measure, but I always fail to perform up to my expectation. That's absolutely, I mean, that's not an issue, team DevOps. I mean, I don't know your actual name, but yeah. So basically, for me as well, personally, what I feel is I for myself, I sort of plan unreasonable sort of tasks. Like, you will always see my to-do list overflowing with tasks. So it's always like, I feel that way, that if my like if I have 20 things to do and for this week, and even if I'm able to accomplish 10 out of them, it's actually better than doing nothing out of them, right? Because if you don't even measure your progress, you will never know how many of those to dos were you able to complete. At least I'm able to measure now that out of those 20 I was able to complete those 10 and try to perform better next week. That's totally fine. Okay, so bhaiya, please reply for internship in Microsoft. Should I focus more on competitive programming or projects? Let's not talk about a particular company, because it's a general hiring process in almost every company. So even I'm not, I think I should not come sort of what to say it, comment about one particular company, but simplicity, I don't know what's your real name, but yeah, for every like big company, generally they prefer problem solving skills, like they prefer competitive programming and problem projects, and development experience is always, for a fresher, it's always a plus point, but the base requirements is solving the problems they are giving you in their recruitment process. So yes, that's the first priority, and the second priority is projects. Anushka, I'm working on automating and testing a website. Should I put such a project on my resume? I have never seen. Yes, definitely you can put, but when should you put or not, in like in what scenario should you put and in what scenario you shouldn't? I know, like, this is exactly one of the questions which came into my mind as well, when I was like, what kind of project should I put? Again, we are going to discuss this in detail in today's webinar. Should we add a cover letter too? For a fresher, like entry level position, it's not mandatory, but it's always better to have a cover letter ready. Okay, so this is an interesting question. Where should I post my resume? LinkedIn, Indeed job board, or Monster or Glassdoor? Like, just give me 1 minute. You can post it anywhere, but yes, we are going to discuss that as well. So let's first continue with the content. It's already 6:30. So again, I'm going to tell you not to be humble and time to show what you are. So these are some three unspoken rules about resume making, and unspoken, and why three. I have, like, once I go to the next slide, you will be able to see four rules. But so one of them is actually so common that you have heard it tons of times. So that's why I'm saying three unspoken rules. But yes, about this particular line which I have said, don't be humble, time to show what you are. This is a very controversial statement, and some people would say, like, we should never brag in our resume. Definitely, and that's what I'm going to tell you in the next slide. So these are four unspoken rules, but one of them is so common that I call them three unspoken rules. So yes, first of all, it's very, very important to understand that your resume is not your autobiography. Like, no one actually cares about that school level debate competition which you won in your fourth standard. Like I can bet that even like 50% of the people who are viewing this webinar right now have some achievements from their school as well. It's okay, it's completely okay to have it, but that can act as a double-edged sword. Like, you understand double-edged sword? So basically that can do more harm than doing any good. So first of all, your recruiter might think that why is he mentioning his achievement for from fourth standard? Did he not achieve anything after fourth standard that he has to, like, it might make you seem desperate to add that achievement section. I genuinely feel that it's better to not have an achievement section rather than having your achievements from way too long, like from 20 years ago. So that's no point to add it. Like, you can add it if you have 10 achievements and you have a lot of space remaining in your resume. So yes, first 9 can be your latest achievements, and the 10th one in the corner, bottommost corner, that can be your old achievement. But try not to make your resume your autobiography. Be concise, be as concise as possible. Only add information that matters, as Anushka said. So testing, should I add my testing project? If you are applying for a position which involves testing, definitely you should. If you are applying for a entry level position in software development through on campus or off campus placement, yes, again you should add, because these days in many companies you'll find that a developer is supposed to write automated tests, a developer is supposed to write UTs, unit tests. So definitely that will act as a very strong point in your resume that you already know testing. So yes, you should. But in case, let's say you are applying for a complete, let's say, data analyst position, and that will not be there in the, I mean, in the entry level position for freshers, generally it will be SDE role, right? But yes, in case if it's for some other role, you might not want to add it. I hope that solves your doubt, Anushka. And yes, the second unspoken rule, and that's the kind of most important one. Like, the no, no, no. The most important one was your resume is not your autobiography, but the second one is equally important. Like, so you are talented. I know you are talented. You know you are talented, but always remember this fact that the world does not revolve around you. So this is called spotlight effect, and not going too much into that, but yes, that is completely different. Like, just forget I mentioned spotlight effect, because that's completely different concept. That is when you feel that you are okay. Just ignore it for now. Just don't go there. But yes, always always have this confidence in your mind that you are talented, you have skills. Do not go through that imposter syndrome, and have confidence in yourself. But always remember that overconfidence kills. Always remember that the world does not revolve around you. There are equally, or there might be even more skilled candidates from you as well. So why am I saying this? This particular line is going to help you while giving your interviews as well, and while making your resume as well. Oh, before going too deep into everything, I know some people of you might be getting that urge to say me that, hey Madhav, that's not resume, that's resume. Yeah, I know, like, it's resume as well and resume as well. You can, as far as I know, you can search on Google as well. Like, both of them are correct. I think both of them are two different ways to pronounce it, and both of them are correct. So please don't kill me for not saying it a resume and saying it as resume. So yes, yes, now coming back. So basically, the point is, show your talent, showcase your skills, your achievements, your projects, your experiences, but do not sound overconfident. Like, avoid writing in your third person. Let me give you a very simple example. Yes, I know I have written my LinkedIn bio in third person, but that's a completely different story. Like, LinkedIn, I mean, people do write there, but in resume, basically resume, in one page resume which you are handing over to your recruiter, um, let's say let's say okay, so I just had a look in the comment section. So Gunjan asked me resume versus CV is curriculum vitae. I think that's a very common question, Gunjan. You can just directly Google it, you'll find your answer. So yes, Anagha asked me that, hey, I added my SIH finalist achievement, will it be? Definitely. Like, that's a latest achievement, and that's actually very good, that because hackathons, as for a SDE role, being a finalist or winning hackathons is a very, very good achievement. So you should definitely have it. And Adi asked me, where is your, how can we see your roadmap to success event video? I think the organizers have still not uploaded it to YouTube. It was a Google Meet event. So maybe Adi, you can connect with me on LinkedIn and keep following me up about that. I'll also ask the organizers. So yes, let's come back to this now. So basically, yes, avoid writing in third person. Let me give you a very, very logical answer for this. So let's assume you are seeing a like your own resume. So there is clearly mentioned the name of the person, like Madhav Behel, on that page of paper, like that sheet of paper, one sheet of paper. And here, like, it's obvious that Madhav Behel has written that particular sheet of paper, but what he has written is something like this: Madhav is the best achiever in this world. Madhav has achieved 5 gold medals in shooting. Madhav has achieved, I mean, has achieved first position in hackathons in 50 hackathons. Madhav has done this. Madhav has done that. That looks a little weird, right? Because it's your resume, and it's uh, it's not like you are going to show, you're going there to show your like you're going there to be, I don't know how to put that forward, but I think you are sort of getting my point. Like, you shouldn't be too much stuffy like about your own achievements. So avoid writing your in your third person. And the second tip is avoid using I, like I am, I do, I will. Like, you can, it's obvious that you are writing your resume, right? So you don't need to write in third person, and you don't need to write in these common words like I. Remove the I from everywhere. It's obvious that you are writing it. Let me give you a very simple example. Just one line: I am experienced. I am having let's take this example. Like, I am experienced in full stack JavaScript development with and I have built uh, 50 projects. That can be like, that can be, instead of I, like removing I, we can present it in this way. Like, instead of I am experienced in full stack JavaScript development, you can just write experienced full stack JavaScript developer. That sounds much better. So yes, I hope you're getting it. And the third point: give them what they need. Like, always remember it's about them, not about you. At least for the interview part and till the time you are recruited. After you are recruited, trust me, like, there are companies who value their employees a lot, and it will be about you after you are getting recruited. Like, you must have heard about the awesome culture at various companies. Like, they will honor you a lot, but till the time you are recruited, it's always remember it's you who are looking the job, and it's always about them. So give them what they need. Mention the things which they are looking for. It's a common sense, but still people don't follow it. So very simple example for like, I have taken this example so many times, but still I'm taking it once again. So very simple example could be like, let's say you are applying for a Java React JS developer's role, and you have written in your resume about everything except your front end development experience. So that will not make you a sort of eligible candidate, right? So basically what happens is, let's think from the recruiter's point of view. So you might, let's say I am the recruiter. I am getting hundreds of resume daily, 100 resumes daily, and I just pick the first resume. It's very, very possible that I might even, first case scenario, let's dig deep into it. Like, let's try to understand. First scenario is, I might be from a management background, I might be an HR, but I might be reviewing a technical resume. So the first thing would be like, I would just see like the position is Android developer, and I'll try to look for Android developer or all those things in within the career summary, or within the career objective, or within the work experience. So it's very, very possible. And the second thing is, since I have hundreds of resume kept over my table, I might just see your career summary, like the first few sections, and just make my decision. Because understand that they are also human, I am also human. So I might not go through all the every single word that you have every single word that you have written. So I hope you are understanding it. Give them what they need. Now coming to every single word, I might not see every single word that you have written. So choose your words wisely. So this fourth one is the thing which we all know, but we genuinely don't understand and implement this. So basically, two things: choose your words wisely and do not lie. Like every word in your resume should count. Try adding action words, try adding, like, even if I see any random word in between, and I should get a feel of it, like, yes, he's doing something. But make sure you're not overdoing that by telling lies or by telling things which are clearly visible that they are not there. So yes, always keep, like, I've written this in capital, like, do not lie, because it's very easy to catch a lie during an interview or your background verification part. So like, if you lie about your degree or your achievements in your background verification, they are going to figure it out. If you lie about your skills, they are going to figure it out during your interview. So do not lie. All right, that was a lot of talking, and yes, that was some philosophical as well, words of wisdom. I see. All right, so I think I missed a few questions in the chat section, but anyways, so now comes the ATS thing. So what's this ATS thing? Like, can you sort of, till the time I see the questions in the chat section, can you make a guess what exactly is this ATS thing? And I'll go to the questions in the chat section right now. So the logical engineer asked me, bro, how to get referral for top tech company because I started CP. Okay, not on go. Okay, but deeply following GFG. Getting a referral is an art, and you are not going to get it in, let's say, within in first go. Right, you have to be like, first of all, should be able, you can just do one thing, just see my other video about profile making or something. First of all, first requirement should be that you should have a compelling profile and resume, that if I see your profile, I should be willing to sort of refer you. So you're getting it right. Second thing is how you are reaching out. So just don't write hi, hello, hey, how are you, how you doing, and all those things. Avoid, like, just cut down all small talks. Come to the purpose. Like, just four steps. Like, first, introduce yourself. Second thing, tell what you do. Third thing, come to the purpose. And fourth thing, end with a gratitude. Let me give you a very simple example. Hey, like, hey, XYZ, I've been following, I'm into full stack web development, and I have been following your work since last 2 years, and you have been doing an amazing work, and it's very inspirational for all of us. The company in which you work is a sort of dream company for me. So I was thinking, would you be willing to give me a referral for this? Then I can list down my achievements. Like, I am a 5-star competitive programmer at Code Chef, and I have won in 40 hackathons. I've bagged first position in that, and I'm skilled in, like, React.js, Node.js, and all those things. I'm also attaching my sort of resume with this message or with this mail. Please let me know if you would be willing to sort of give me a referral. And thanks a lot for your time, and some simple greeting. So that's it. But it's 99% chance that you might not get any reply from that. So learn to follow up, like, follow up about after 2 days, follow up about 1 week. But if you still don't get any reply after following up, just try out another person, right? Like, he might be super busy, he might not even be active on LinkedIn for those days, or he might not even see the email. So just keep on trying. It's a process. It's not a one time thing. All right, I spent too much time into explaining that, but yes. Okay, so should we add cover letter too? As I said, so in entry level positions, I don't think it's mandatory, but it's always recommended. Like, if you, it's always icing on the cake, right? It won't do any harm. It will do good only. So Andrilla asked me that what kind of development skills to achieve, and okay, so that's sort of a big question. Let's take it in the AMA. Got it. So ATS thing. Coming back to the ATS thing, uh, Team DevOps champion asked me anti-template sys. No. Okay, anti-template system, applicant tracking system. Yes, Rishi, and Google role. Yes, yes. Okay, so yes, that's an applicant trap automatic resume reader. Yes, sort of, Rishi. You are very close. So yes, that's basically an applicant tracking system. ATS is full form of ATS is an applicant tracking system. So basically, what happens is, in majority of the companies, in almost every company now, they use for online applications, So they don't want to overload their HRs, right, with resume. Like a top company might even get lakhs, trust me, in millions of resumes per day. I might be oversaying it. I'm not sure about the exact number, but yes, I hope you get the point. So basically, they have developed sort of softwares which actually go through your resume and parses out keywords, and which takes the first decision on whether or not to select this candidate. So now let's come to template or not. So about the templates. So basically, there are these free resume builders and templates which you can use. Nova Resume, I use Nova Resume. Resume Maker, it's one of my favorites. It's completely free. It's resume maker. I mean, no matter how you pronounce it, resumemaker.online and visual cv resume.com, cake resume, and all those. Canva provides some resume templates. Free word templates are there. Free Google Doc templates are there. You can just go to any of one of them and try it out. Even if you go back again, like you can just go to my profile and you can go to the see all section, and inside that you can just sort of where did it go? Yeah, the second post, not the second post. Okay, inside the post section, in the second post, third post, you can see 9 websites that will help you build your resume, and you can find in the comment section the links to those websites like Novo Resume, Resume Maker, Visual CV, and so on. Cake Resume isn't free. I think it's free for limited use. Novo Resume is also free for limited use. I think so. So I mean, for sort of, if you can access their premium features only if you are a premium member, but yeah, for limited use they offer. So yes, but should you use it or not? Before we go forward, let's have a look at what, like, I seriously cannot answer your question of whether you should sort of use resume templates or you should not before explaining you this. So just hang on with me, and I know it's already so much time has passed, but yes, I already told you in the beginning that it's going to be a long webinar. So before we go forward, let's have a look at what exactly happens to the resume after you press that apply now button. So after you press that apply now button, basically what happens is it goes through an ATS. Your resume goes to an ATS. ATS is an applicant tracking system. This is nothing but a sort of software which has been programmed by the HR or by the company to look for various keywords or various experiences or anything, or all those things which we are going to discuss in another section. There are a lot of sections. Yes, so firstly, it is going to go through that ATS. ATS is applicant tracking system. That particular software is going to parse the data and look for keywords, and then it is going to rank based on the relevance, and it's going to basically pick out the best match resumes which match the provided conditions by the HR, and those selected resumes are going to go to a human reviewer after that. Even in this stage, it can be in 2 stages. Like first stage can be an HR, like a normal HR management, or the second stage can be your hiring manager. So yes, but at least both of them will be human. So should you or should you not? So basically the thing here is that if you are 100% sure that your resume is going to a human reviewer, let's say you are emailing the recruiter directly, or let's say you are going into a hiring event and giving your resume there, or let's say you are sitting for on campus placement. So yes, I know most of the people who are present here must be, yes, Drupal, Google Drive also sees templates. And Gunjan just asked me, please see Mentimeter questions. I let me finish with this content first. Okay, so yes, basically, if you are 100% sure that a human being is going to see your resume, of course, on campus, most of you might be sitting for on campus placement. So yes, you should definitely go for templates, because I can bet that most of the people who are seeing this video right now might be might be college students, and might be sitting for on campus. So yes, I would totally recommend you using those templates. But in case like in later stage of your life or anywhere, you are applying through an online application and it's going through ATS, then you should be very, very careful whether or not to use a resume template. Just go through, like, you can like you can, of course, you have to pick any one of the templates, right? But it's in that scenarios, it's preferable to use the normal, not two designer templates provided by MS Word or maybe Google Slides or Google Drive, so on. Hey Arnav, I will not delete this live video. Like all the lean talks are going to be present on the YouTube channel. So yes, don't worry. All of the lean talks are going to be present on my YouTube channel, and you can see them anytime. So yes, now coming back, basically what happens is that yeah, so of course a human reviewer, you have to think in terms of human, like he is a human and he is going to sort of see your resume. He should be comfortable in reading that, right? If for me, like again thinking in terms of the recruiter, and he might get hundreds of resume, and if your resume is not sort of visually appealing enough, he might not even cared, or he might even bother to check a lot of it. He or she might just see the career summary and just make his decision. So yes, if you are sure that a human being is going to see your resume, definitely go for templates. But in future, if you know that you are going through an ATS, then try to pick a minimal template. Why? I'm going to tell you in the next section. Let's go to the next section. But yes, even if you choose any one of these and you are sure that your resume is going to go through an ATS, you can still go through these resume builders, because some of them claim to be ATS friendly, like Novo Resume. They claim to be ATS friendly, and you can just search on Google and Quora on like what particular templates of the templates which they provided were were actually ATS friendly. So yes, you can do some research and use their templates as well. So yes, now the question comes, if like a software is going to parse my resume, how should I optimize it? Now that you know that ATS thing, you should also be aware of. So Anaga asked me, should we add a photo of yourself in the resume? So if it's an ATS resume, ATS does not care about your photo. Like it genuinely doesn't care about your photo. It's going to parse the keywords, the textual material only. But if you are sure that a human reviewer is going to review it, then you can consider adding it. It's completely up to you, but of course it looks good, it looks professional. Like if you, even I have my photo in my resume. So yes, if you are sure a human being is going to review it, then yes, you can go with it. Now coming back to the tips on how to optimize your resume accordingly. So the ATS, that particular software might be looking for these five things, and so you should basically add these things like keywords, specific keywords, like Android development, Java, Kotlin, Google, I mean all those things, right? So second thing is any particular degree. So many of the job openings in many companies require a particular degree. Like let's say you might have seen, right? The pre-requirements, sometimes they ask you should be a PhD. In some scenarios they might ask you should be a BTech. In some scenarios the job might be open for BSc or BTech, something like that, right? So the applicant tracking system is going to parse your degree. So second thing was that. Third thing was the years of experience, how many years of experience you have. So you might have seen while applying through LinkedIn Jobs or Glassdoor or Monster or directly through the career page of any particular company, they always add the number of years of experience required. So in like in some job positions they might require a person who has 5 years of experience in let's say Android development. So that's what, right? So your applicant tracking system is also going to parse the exact the years of experience. And then the fourth thing is keywords. Like again, in the key experience section, the ATS might look for those specific things, like is the experience really in what the company is looking for, the past experience. And the fifth thing is various headings, like does the resume has career objective, career summary, skills, work experience, education, and so on. Now the thing is, for any of this to work, listen to me carefully, for any of these five things to work, the software should actually be able to parse these things. And there are some some things, there are these things which makes your ATS very very unhappy, because he is not able to parse these things. So these overloaded designs, like some people like these are not going to work in, like, I mean, let's say I am applying for a position. Like if I make overloaded designs, like so many colors, so many graphics, so many things, like any very unusual format and all those vectors and so many things, and ATS might not be able to parse down the exact things which he is looking, which it is looking for. So yes, but hey, mother, what if I'm applying for a design role? In design role, that's an exception. In design or in creative roles, you should overload your resume with designs. I mean, not overload, but yes, at least it should be a little bit better. Yes, if you are a designer or if you're applying for a creative job, a job which requires creativity, yes, you should definitely go for creative resumes, because in that scenario they might not even use an ATS. So these tips are basically for ATS particular scenario, the software particular scenario. So the second thing is multiple columns make ATS unhappy. Charts and other graphics, you might feel that I can add a statistical graph that through my this was my performance in particular XYZ company. That might make your human reviewer very happy, but that's going to make your ATS very unhappy. So yes, the fourth thing is PDF. I'm not sure whether this is true or not, but I have referred to this particular blog in this, which I've mentioned in the source. So yes, and some other sources as well. On Google, if you search, they generally say that many of the ATS, they generally find it difficult to parse down PDF because they take the PDF document as an image. Now the fifth thing is bad word choices. Like you already know this. So yeah, sixth one is weird fonts. Like do not, like, stick to some normal fonts. Like if you're using some serif font, like you can go for normal serif fonts. If you're using sans, like just try to make your fonts the normal ones which people generally use. Don't go for Comic Sans, or don't go for like some other sort of some other sort of weird fonts. And seventh thing is emojis and special characters. It becomes almost impossible for ATS to track, pass down these emojis and all. So yes, try not to add it. And even for human reviewer, like why would you add emojis in your resume? So team DevOps, like it would be so much better if you would have named your channel based on your real name. But yeah, so team DevOps asked me like, we should use PDF or we shouldn't. So I wanted to answer this in the last section, but seeing the time that it's already 7 o'clock, let me answer it now itself. So basically, it depends. It completely depends. So if you know that an ATS is going to see your resume, you should go for Word document. But the thing is, bad thing with Word document is that it depends. Like it might change its format based on which operating system it is opened on, or the fonts which are available on the recruiters on different devices or not. So yes, if you are sure, again, if you are sure that a human being, a human reviewer is going to review your resume, definitely go for PDF, because PDF does not change universally. No matter in which operating system you open that PDF, it's going to remain the same. But if you are going to use ATS, you should go for Word. No. All right. So now, the resume formats and tips. As always, it depends, right? So scenario one is an ATS might read your resume, and a scenario two is a human reviewer might read your resume. So for ATS kind of resume, try to make it simple. Try to add action words a lot. Try to make it more parsable, right? So I can give you simple examples like those keywords, those headers like summary, experience, and all, years of experience, and all those things. The scenario two is human reviewer. In this particular case, you might want to use a template. All right. So Aditya Ramesh just asked me that Times New Roman. Also, so I see that there's a discussion going on regarding fonts in the chat section. Monsterrat, Roboto, yes, all these things are good. So that's what I said, right? It's completely up to you. Like if you are going for sans or serif, it's your choice. Times New Roman would be a good choice, but like it's not bad. But I generally prefer. I don't prefer That I prefer Roboto. So yes, Roboto would be a good choice as well. But yes, it's that, like, these fonts are very common. Roboto and Times New Roman, Arial. These are very very common fonts, and you can definitely use them. All right, all right. Yes, Drupal. Yes, that's what. So, but after ATS, it's not going to hand off like hiring manager or the recruiter. Yes, that's what. So that's where you need to be clever. So you don't need to make it a very black and white sort of simple resume. Also, like in paragraphs, you need to do it in such a way that even after it passes through ATS, your human reviewer should also be like, there are some very very simple and logical tips, right? So let me share with you some tips which I wrote down on my sheet of paper before sort of coming to this sort of webinar. First thing would be like constant formatting. Like these things will work for ATS and human reviewer as well. Constant formatting, white spaces, font size. Like font size should be easily readable. Like it should not be those very very small fonts. Then of course it should be easy to read, and good use of bolds and italics. Like don't just use bold everywhere, use bold very cleverly. Like if you want to highlight a particular keyword, if you want to highlight a particular job title and so on, like make good use of bold and italic to make sort of highlighting effect. Font size, choose a font size that is actually readable. Make sure that you don't go for very small font size just to accommodate everything on a single page. And then placement of your information, which we are going to discuss in the immediately next slide. So yes, and then comes the sort of showcasing your best achievement. So yes, try to add your achievements and all those things above, yeah, all those things which we are going to talk in the next section. I'm super tired, guys, but yes, it's still remaining. So yes, okay. Prashant asked me that should I make projects in Flutter or native. That's a completely unrelated question, Prashant. Let's discuss it afterwards sometime maybe, or maybe you can send me a message on LinkedIn. I know I reply late, but I'll try my best. So should I make it? Completely depends again. I'll talk to you regarding this later on. Okay, so just give me 1 minute break, guys. I need to drink water. I'm too tired. So I just had a look at Anaka's question. Like if I'm applying for a technical internship first time and they're asking for 1 or 2 years experience, is it okay to put projects over work experience? That is a very, very good question. And that is a very important question, Anaka. So I was going to discuss that in my, so this is the last section. After this, I'm going to revisit the questions. So I've already added that like in my next slide. So yes, I think we can wait for that, Anaka. Don't worry, I'm coming to that. Basically, if you don't have let's say any experience, any industry experience, in that case what should you write? So yes, definitely I'm going to address that as well. So like this is the general format. Like, so don't worry guys, and please don't leave. I mean, this is, I know it's already 7, but yes, I'm going to like, this section is going to get, this is the second last section, and it will just take me 15 to 20 more minutes. So yes, please hang on. And it's the most, trust me, it's the most important section right now which is going on. So you might not want to leave here, but even if you leave, do come back, like see the recorded video, because this is going to be very very important for your sort of resume making. So this is the actual real section which is on resume making. So yes, what format should we follow? Like what should be the exact order of things? So this is the thing which I prefer, this particular format. Name and contact at the top as always. Along with contact information, you can add your links to your online portfolios like madhavbahel.tech, medium.com/ at the rate madhavbahel10, linkedin.com/in/ madhavbahel, not Instagram, but yeah. Anyways, yeah, I'm so sorry. Okay. So then the next thing is career objective, a one line some objective of your career. That's completely optional. And I mean, if you add, I trust, I mean, it's just my opinion that you should have either one of them, like either a career summary, or some people call it a bio, or a career objective. Like having both of them will just unnecessarily occupy a lot of space in your resume. So try to have either one of them. I generally prefer summary because in summary you can add a lot more things. So basically, a summary can look something like this. It can be in pointers or it can be a paragraph, but a summary basically means that it's going to be a little longer than a single liner objective. So if you are going for a career summary, I would prefer that you can have multiple pointers, like 2 or 3 points. In that particular point, you can actually have a bold heading, like sort of subheading, and then a 1 or 2 liner description, like something like let me think of something. Like let's say uh, an experienced full stack JavaScript developer. This can be in bold, and after that, just write in the point like in mission driven sort of like I'm not able to come up with this right now because we have to think about it. But yeah, I hope you're getting it. Like in summary, you can have various pointers. So that can start with a bold sort of 3 or 4 words, which actually takes the attention of the reviewer to that particular bold words. Let's say a non-profit leader, like a community leader. Let's say a community leader at a non-profit organization, and then you can add that can be the first thing, and then you can add a description like inspiring, mission driven, motivator, sort of with let's say one plus year, like 2+ year experience in, let's say you were into like NGO in your college. So you can add this particular thing like an a sort of mission driven individual with sort of goal to make to do something. I hope you're getting it, and try to add those action words. Then comes your key skills part. So basically, but yeah, one more thing about your career summary, it can be of sort of 3 to 4 sort of pointers, and in first pointer, try to add your elevator pitch. So I generally prefer this one small hack that uh, the career objective which you are going to write at the top of your resume, instead of writing that, write it as a first point in your career summary. So that can be your sort of elevator pitch. uh, I have already discussed about, and you can see what an elevator pitch is: a sort of small introduction about yourself which tells a lot about you, and which is your main selling point basically. And then the next 2 points can reflect about or highlight about your main strengths or your main skills. What are the specific strengths you have, and that can actually be related to what the recruiter is looking for. Then finally you can add now some specific other things and all those things. So in ideally a 4 pointer in your sort of career summary would be more than enough. Yes, like career summary should have what value can you offer to the organization. Yes, exactly. Like as I told in the beginning, it's always about them. It's not about you. Now comes to the now we come to the fourth section, which is the key skill section. So in the key skill section, it's very obvious. Like you have to add those keywords. This is the best part, to add those keywords which the recruiter might be looking for. So th- so this is the point where you can leverage those keywords. So like add software project management, add Java, add Kotlin. But again, make sure you're not lying. Make sure like even having a 6 month experience is good enough, but make sure that you have not even, you have just heard the name of that particular technology and you are mentioning it. Try to have at least some prior information on that technology, on that tech stack, or on that domain before mentioning it in your key skills. But keep in mind that your key skills can be a game changer because it has the keywords. The key skills are those keywords. And then exactly as I don't know what's the name, but yeah, exactly as he said that Prioritize those main skills by what the job post is looking for, what the recruiter is looking for. And then comes the work experience. So work experience is sort of the biggest thing, right? It's going to occupy a whole lot space in your resume. So try to add those try to add your work experience just below your key skills, or maybe even above your key skills, depending on what your experience is. So let's say if you were working for any Fortune 500 company, or it's something worth showing off, then you can even sort of keep it over the key skills part, and you can have skills after the but the simple format for work experience would be very simple. It can be sort of some people prefer having the title as a heading. Some people prefer having the company name as a heading. I prefer having the title as the heading, like let's say software development engineer, and then as a subheading I can have like the company name, and then a small description like handle uh, the overall deployment scenario of this particular product in this particular company, and so on. I hope you're getting it. So basically I don't want to go into the exact details, because those things you can easily get on Google, right? But yeah, good question, Abhishek. So I think we have to make more than one resume. I am going to answer this question in the next section as well, like is it required, actually required or not. But yeah, so work experience comes coming back to the work experience. Yes, I'm not going too much in detail about like what you should be writing, but I hope you're clear with it. Like I am that first of all, you should be able to highlight what the recruiter is actually looking for, and your action words, like they play a lot of, like they can be game changer. Like action words are again can be parsed by key ATS and all those things. Then comes the education, like can it be above or below? Like some people, I have like reviewed more than 100 resumes as of now, and in I don't know why in 100, like at least 99% of those resumes, people had education at top, like just below the name and contact. I'm not sure why, what's the reason, or it might be the template which they used or something like that, but I generally prefer having the education below work experience. Why? Because you see, the recruiter is looking at your skills and your what value can you add to the company. Like everyone is a btech these days, like every other person is a btech in computer science. So what is going to differentiate you is your work experience and your key skills. So as I told you in the starting, that your recruiter might even see your resume, and first scenario is that he might not have that much background, that much technical background, so he might just look for those keywords in the career summary itself, and based on that he might take the decision. And the second scenario is that he might have so many resumes to review that he might not even go through every one of them. In both of the scenarios, if you have like education at the top, it might not be a sort of good thing for you, because he might not even go to your other thing. So yes, I generally prefer having this particular order, like career summary, key skills, and then work experience, or maybe work experience first and key skills first. But education can be above in various scenarios. They might not be sort of yes, exactly, as he said. So as the last comment, like if you have a master's, pop that at the top, basically. So yes, the education system is like in the education scenario, if you have something very very specific which you are very confident to brag about. Let's say, like again, I didn't want to take this up because a lot of people who are viewing this webinar must be undergraduate college students, but yes, in future, for future also, you can remember this, that if you have some specific degree like doctorate or postgraduate or something like that, then you can add it at the top. Like, or if let's say you have any particular degree which is directly affecting the which might directly affect the decision of the recruiter, then you can add it at the top. So this was the first scenario. The second scenario is if you have a gap in your work experience. Let's say if you were, it can be anything, like if you were not working for, let's say, past 2 or 3 years. So in your work experience, you will write something like 2015 to 2017. In that particular scenario, your reviewer might directly look at what about 2017 to 2020. So in that particular scenario, you might want to keep education at top, and there are various other things, but that is completely logical. All right. Don't worry, Abhishek. I'll take, as I have promised, I will take three or four resume reviews in this particular video itself. So don't worry about that. And then certification, and that's particular. Now after this education, it's all about the icing on the cake, like your volunteer history. This can be your 7, 8, 9, 10, can be in any order. Like your volunteer history or your community involvement, it helps a lot, trust me. First thing is you can add those particular action words and keywords based on your volunteer and community involvement. Second thing is your volunteer history can also act as a work experience. So this is basically what I was telling you. If you are a fresher and you don't have zero work experience, you actually still have, every one of us have a work experience, and we just have to find it. Giving you my example, so the first time which I when I applied for a job, I wrote, like, I was in a technical society in my college, which was called Apple Developers Group. So I wrote that I'm a sort of web developer at Apple Developers Group, because I actually made their website, and I had proof that adgvit.com was made by me. So yes, that counts as a work experience, because that's also work, right? So you can leverage as a fresher, you can leverage volunteer history or community involvement as your work experience as well. And then research paper, patent, certifications, and achievements, all these things are icing on the cake. All right, so final section. Yes, exactly, you can call it as a professional experience. Yeah. All right, I see a lot of questions. It's so difficult to answer, but yeah, okay. So yeah, this is the final section, guys. Do not worry. Do not worry. After this, like, I'll just finish it in 5 minutes, and after this, only the people who want to have their resumes reviewed can stay on the call. It's not a call; it's a YouTube live. I'm getting that habit of on call thing, but yeah. All right. So some things that you must remember. These are the final tips from my side, and I hope that the session was informative enough. So this is the main thing for today. These are the tips apart from the normal tips, which are like have proper spacing, have proper line height, have proper sections, like all those things you already know, but these are the things which you should actually keep in mind. The first thing is try to use a resume template. I'm always in favor of a resume template, because at the end of the day, your human being has to see your resume and it should actually look good. And the second tip is, there are many ATS friendly, you can just search ATS friendly resume templates. So yes, you can make ATS friendly resume, but keep in mind that it should be an ATS friendly resume template. Second thing is, now coming to the questions which like every one of you might have, like, one page resumes are good, or 2 page resumes are good, or more than that, or like, yeah, which, how many pages should I make my resume? According to me, see, I believe personally that everything can be like, you can make your resume concise enough to make it fit in 1 page. I have been like, my whole, like, I have been using 1 page resume, and I genuinely prefer it. But if you genuinely want to show things and it's going out of 1 page, do not decrease the font size, because it becomes very, very difficult. Just think about the recruiter who has to see that. 2 pages are also okay. There's no hard and fast rule of having 1 page. So yes, I believe that 1 page resumes are good because they are concise enough and it does not take too much time to go through them. 2 pages are also good, but more than that, you might want to rethink. So that's my sort of opinion. Third thing is keywords from job description. Do not forget about those keywords. Like, it could be Android development, it could be React.js developer, it could be a Java developer, and so on. But do add those keywords, because the recruiter is actually looking for that, and the ATS is also looking for that. Fourth thing is highlight what they are looking for. I mean, not literally highlight, but yes, highlight. Don't just go on like putting the highlighter on that, but highlight means, as soon as I see the resume, I should focus on that. How you can do that? Choose a resume template that has a design in such a way that our attention goes to a particular section as soon as we open that template. And in that template, mention everything which recruiter is looking from you. Fifth point, like, add links to your online presence. This is very, very important, because recruiters do look at the online presence. Like, be a blogger, like try to have tech blogs, try to have a sort of online portfolio, LinkedIn, GitHub, Medium, and all those things. These are a very good icing on the cake. Now previous job titles add a lot of value, and you can have them even if you are a fresher, like a fresher. Okay, even if you are a fresher. And I just had a look at, you can have, then H is missing. So I just wrote that no typos please, and I myself made a typo. But basically I was making this slide in a sort of hurry because I was as I said, I'm a little tight on time these days. But yeah, anyways, so even if you are a fresher, you can have those job titles as as we looked at it, because you can have a professional experience, like as I said, sort of web developer in Apple developers group. So that wasn't a job, that was a voluntary experience, but that was an experience, so I can add that. Now seventh, and I think a very important point, is remove those redundant words like I am, I have, all those things. Like you can, instead of, like, let's say, like a very simple example, I am a global specialist at electronics and Arduino and something like that. Instead of having that I am, you can just directly say that global specialist at Arduino and electronics and hardware and so on. So that's completely fine, right? Even if you don't write I am, it's logical and it's completely understandable that you are the one writing the resume, you're not going to talk about someone else, right? So the thing is, avoid third person and remove all these I am and I, basically those redundant I keywords. Directly add the what you want to say. The eighth thing is action words. So for these action words, you can just again go to my LinkedIn profile and go to this see all part and go to posts. So I just posted about this in, I mean, around 1 hour, 1 or 2 hours ago, just before this webinar. So this is the basically thing, which is, these are the action words which you can use in your resume, like envisioned, mentored, accelerated. So all these action words add a lot of value to your resume. And you can just even check, there's a blog which I've mentioned in the comment, like this one, job scan. You can just go through it. It has more than 400 action words which you can, which some of them which you can pick. Ninth one is no typos please. I made a typo in this slide, but this is not my resume. So yes, in resume, make sure you're not making a typo. All right. So the logical engineer just asked me that what to write in work experience for a fresher. I already told you, right? You can sometimes, if you have done a very very complex project, you can add a project as well. If you have volunteered to some technical society, let's say there are a lot of technical societies out there, right? Google developers group and Apple developers group, ACM, and so on. Like anything, if you have contributed, coding club and so on, if you have contributed to them, you can add it. If, like, you can add basically your volunteer experience as well in your professional work. All right, so are you making an impact? So this is the most important tip. Like, are you making an impact? So what I do is, like, whenever, like, at the time of hiring, what I did was, like, whenever I make a resume, I basically send it to 3 or 4 of my friends and 3 or 4 of some random strangers on LinkedIn. I prefer this method a lot. Like, you can even try that. So the first thing is, by sending it to your friends, they are definitely not going to tell you the exact bad things which you have. Just ask for a feedback from 4 or 5 of the people you know, and 4 or 5 random strangers on LinkedIn, which can be same age as you or maybe seniors to you. But yeah, so by the idea behind it, there is that those 4 or 5 friends which you have, they might pick up some sort of grammatical mistakes, or all those things. So that is very very important. And you can, like, the minor sort of you can say minor details they can pick up, and you can improve on that. And the major details, like, they are not, if there is a major flaw in your resume, it's highly likely that your friends are not going to tell you that, because they don't want to sort of point out bad things in you, right? So in that case, getting your sort of resumes reviewed by a stranger works a lot. So yes, the questions in your mind, I'll hand, like, this is the final section for today. So I'll answer them very quickly. So first thing is, should I use a template? Yes, But if you are going to an ATS, make sure that the resume is ATS friendly. Second, should I use any online tool? Yes, you can, but make sure that is an ATS friendly. My guru told me to write 1 page resume, but I have a lot more to mention. What should I do? Make it of 2 pages. It does not matter a lot, but try to be as concise as possible. Third, fourth point, yeah, it's fourth. Okay, so how to make my resume different from others? How do I get noticed? First thing is you can choose a different template. You can make your own template as well, and the major part is that sort of highlight those things which makes you different from others. Like I believe in this, just listen to me very carefully. Like I believe in this thing called skill stacking or skill combination. So I believe every one of us have some unique combination of those skills which make their own brand. For me, it's my coding skills, its development, and my public speaking skills and my blogging skills. So all four of those combined makes me the lean programmer. So just find out all those four things and try to mention about them as well. Now, should I have more than one resumes? Yes, the question which Abhishek was asking, I think. Yeah. So basically, should I have more than one resumes? It depends. Like if you are a fresher, you might not applying for on campus. You one resume should be more than enough, because ideally most of the companies are looking for SD roles in on campus recruitments. But if you're applying for off campus or in some startup or in some things, now you can have two or three completely different resumes. But I would suggest that if the sort of job or the domain of the job is similar, let's say even if you're applying for a React.js developer or an Android developer, both of them sort of fall in the technical category, right? So you can, instead of having completely different resumes, you can have sort of different summaries. You can have sort of different like work, like you can change the words, you can change the keywords accordingly, and not have completely different resume, but not have completely different resume, but different resume. I hope you're getting it now. How to add proper keywords? Try to look for those keywords on the job description, job post, and try to add them in your resume. And of course, try to add those action words. No one replies to me on LinkedIn. It's because you're not following up. No one reply. Follow up, follow up, follow up. Yes. And what would be the best format for an ideal resume? I hope you're clear with that right now. All right. Before going to the next resume review part, I am giving I have this common slide in every particular lean talks which I take, and I would have this in this one as well. 50 days, 50 post challenge. So I know that, like, I hope that you all know the importance of having an online presence. It's very, very important these days. And why not, like, why shouldn't you have it? Like, having an online presence can get you credibility, can get you trust, can get you recommendation, recognition, opportunities, and so much more. So why don't you have an online presence? So I am giving you this challenge. If you want, you can take this 50 days, 50 posts challenge. So basically what you want to do, what you should be doing is Monday to Saturday, like at the end of the day, go to LinkedIn and post what all did you learn like this particular day. Like by sharing your journey, you can build a lot of trust. So yes, it can be anything. Like let's say today you learned about resume making through my YouTube video, right? You can just post about the video, what all new things did you learn. Like let's say if ATS was something new to it, you can just ask all those things. So yes, 50 days, 50 posts, and then Sunday write a blog. Like it can be on anything. It can be a tech blog, it can be about some new novel which you are reading, or anything. But yes, try to follow this challenge and try to have an online presence. And I would like to end this webinar, not end because I'm going to review also, but yes, for the content part, I would like to end it with this very powerful quote that make it significant, make it simple, but significant. So always keep in mind that no matter what area in life you are, always try to make it simple, but significant. I hope you liked it. And I hope you enjoyed the webinar. Now it's a time for resume review. And I see a lot of questions here. So yes, I will go through them quickly. But yes, let me first go through the chat section. So Abhishek just asked me, like, I asked about my resume feedback from different developers from Amazon. Most of them said your resume looks good to me, but I didn't get a call. Why is that? There can be many many reasons, Abhishek. Because first thing is, um, there might be even better resumes, so you should not always go for good. Like why to go for good when you can be best? So keep improving. That's what I said in the uh, five fail 50 win challenge as well, right? So just try to make your resume even better, try to have more strong online presence, try to keep improving yourself. Even if people say you are good, just don't stop working unless and until they say you are the best. This is the best resume I've heard. Like, I know that's an ideal scenario, that's very difficult. It will take months, but it will be worth it. All right. So um, Anaga said that I am already doing the 100 days of code challenge and I am posting my daily learning. It has really helped me to increase my SSI rank, and thanks to you. Thanks a lot, Anaga. And definitely that would work, right? Because it will increase your SSI rank. So if people who are not aware about the SSI, it's your social selling index on LinkedIn. It will increase your sort of profile views. It will increase your online presence. So yes, do that. And is Nova Resume ATS friendly? As far as I know, Naga, yes, it is ATS friendly, but yes, you should always check it on Google and the reviews from the people who have already used that. So, what to write in work experience, I have already told. The resume should not be longer than job post. Yes, it should not be. Yes, how we yes, we have to make more than one resume according to the requirements. Yes, it basically depends. You can have a different resume even while not having a different resume, basically by sort of changing a few things, few keywords and so on. Okay, how long will you review resumes? I think I will review for 15 or 20 minutes right now. Like, of course, I will be going not in the fit and finish and not in too detail, because this YouTube video is already been going on since 1.5, exactly 1.5 hours. And otherwise, it will become too long and people might not see in future. So, yes, here on YouTube Live, I'll just go through the overall tips and tricks, which overall feedback. But for the exact things, like, you can always DM me, and but please, like, be considerate that I genuinely I get more than 10 resume review requests daily. So it might even take me weeks to get back to you, so don't mind that. And I'm really sorry. I just want to help as many people as I can, but it's really difficult. I hope you'll understand. So yes, let's start off with the resume review. Okay, let me open it. Guys, if you sort of share your resume, then please give me access as well. Otherwise, how will I open it? All right. Oh, this is so sweet of you, Soham. I'm so glad that I could help you. Thanks a lot for the sweet gesture, Soham. Thank you. Okay, if I want to apply for research internships and I'm applying for the first time, what do you want to suggest? Again, I think we should, like, take the AMA. I can have the AMA in one of my, like, I can have this particular topic as well in the separate lean talks, because it's already 1.5 hours. Uh, 1 lakh plus post views. Oh my god, that's so amazing, man. I don't know who wrote this, but it makes me feel like I'm so glad to hear this. I mean, keep going, buddy, and I'm really happy about this. Great. So, all right, for internships, should I focus more? I have already answered this in the beginning, and let's try out this one. Oh, it's so good. Like, I love uh, this particular design. Basically, first thing is which comes in my mind whenever I see such sort of template is, like, how can you rate yourself 4 out of 5? Like, it's something which is sort of oh, okay, guys, the resume review has started. So if you guys want to If you're not interested in the resume review, you can drop off from this meeting and you can go as well. But yes, I would still recommend you guys to, I will review overall, sort of overall review in, let's say, 5, 10, or 15 or 20 minutes, and it will be informative for you as well. So yes, the first thing, this particular, some people genuinely like having this particular format, but trust me, I don't like it, and many people don't like it, because if I was your interviewer, I would ask you, from like, my first question from you would be, on what basis do you rate yourself 4 out of 5 stars? Like, to rate yourself 4 out of 5 stars, like, to know that you know 80% of the Flutter, of what Flutter has to offer, you should be knowing what 100% is, right? And if you don't know what 100% is, how can you rate that you know 80% of it? So yes, I don't think it's a good way to, like, you can just add those keywords first. That will have two benefits. First one would be, it will prevent you from unnecessary questions like, how can you define your skills as 3 stars out of 5 stars in Java? On what particular basis did you decide that? And second question is, like, second thing how it can benefit is, just imagine like having Flutter, GitHub, and all those things as keywords, like one after another. That will save a lot of space for you to add more other things. So I hope you're getting it. About me, again, I believe you should, like, there are a lot of I in that. You can definitely, like, just work on the tips which I said, Pradeep. Yeah. And positions of like, try making it bold, right? Technical lead at code, like, try having it as a bold sort of thing, so that my attention directly goes to it. And second thing is, the main review from my side, buddy, would be that you have given so much space to your skills, but in your positions of responsibility, you have just mentioned the title. Instead of that, just think about it. What if you would have written this as keywords, saved this whole lot of space, and then written this technical lead at code chef student developer in bold, and then you would have written 1 or 2 lines about what you have done. Like, it's very simple. Let's say, taking what myself, I was a technical lead at Apple Developers Group, ADG student chapter. So I have written this, that technical lead at Apple ADG VIT, responsible for mentoring a team of 50 plus students. Second point, made their official website. Third thing, brought 50 plus, like, brought two, sort of, let's say, two sponsors for the community, and so on. These 3 points would, these would be the exact things which I've done. So I hope you're getting it. And volunteering, same you can do in volunteering. Projects, you have used a lot of white space, right? Like, what's the need of this particular white space? Again, yeah, encrypts file provided, and yes, there's a lot of white space. What is this line height? Like, why exactly do we need this line height? This line height should be between the end and the start of the new sort of project. And awards, good enough. Education, good enough. So Aman, I think this, again, this thing, Flutter developer, try to have it more like, Flutter developer is something very common, right? You can, first thing is, I recommend having either one of them, either the career objective or the career summary. I am keep making this analogous to career objective and career summary. So yes. So Dilip just asked me in the questions that I have used a lot of eyes in. Can you please help me rectify them? You can rectify it yourself, Dilip. Just remove all those eyes. Let me give you an example. I believe no technology is challenging or difficult for me. Instead of that, no, like, I believe is okay. Like, you believe this, but still you could tell that no technology is challenging or difficult, as it is man-made. Like, yeah, it's good enough, but it can be improved. All right, moving on to the next one. So I think this is the next one. All right, Abhijit Gupta. The first thing would be, like, you can, again, the skills section. In skills, what made you, like, my first question again to you would be, why, how can you say that your skills in C are 60%, your skills in data structures are 80%? What is the significance of this line? Like, English, like, you have written 100%, right? This is the whole, like, full. I can tell you 10 or 20 words right now that you might not be knowing in English. So just avoid writing that. And hobbies, it's good enough. Again, I am a achievements may, instead of writing I am a local guide, you could have just written local map guide at level 6. Again, I have worked as a team manager. Instead of this, team manager, like extracurricular activity, worked as a team manager and ठीक है. उसके बाद you could have written as team manager at annual fest of our college. उसके बाद you could have written that organizing member in, like, just remove this I have worked as in, I have worked as a, you would see that it's very redundant. Like, just follow this one concept in life, whether whenever it's getting redundant, just put it out of it. Like, it's 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 a good practice in software development as well, and it's a good practice in everything in life. So you might be knowing this, right? In software development, we just try to remove the redundant things. Why? Because we don't need to have it, right? Instead of writing it's an ongoing project, you could have just written ongoing project with the help of deep learning. I think you're getting it. And a hardworking guy, because I love what I do. And you could have sort of it seems a little cliche, you can still improve it. Now, okay, so Aditya is asking, how do I send my resume to review it by you? Now, I mean, I think I'm here till 10 more minutes. So if you can still add it here, like if I'm able to go through each one of them, I can. But yeah, I think it would be difficult, but yes. All right, Ashirwad. Okay, I believe you can add a lot of more things, right? Okay, at BTech computer science students work in JavaScript. You can add a career summary, right? You are a third year student, but still you could have written a lot more things like an enthusiastic HTML and CSS developer looking forward for more experiences in front end development and freelance projects for at least. So, like, just trust me, even if you have no prior experience, you can still write a compelling sort of career summary, or at least a career objective. So you can improve on this one. Education, at least, yeah, I prefer having projects or work experience above education, so you can move the education section below. And experience, I believe that you must have some experience, right? So you must have volunteered into some sort of uh, society, technical society or something. That would be better if you add it. And dynamic wallpaper app and all those things. So I think your resume can still be improved. Just try to add a lot more projects, try to make more projects on web development and so on, and that you can add those as well. 5-star coder on HackerRank, right? So this is something which should be highlighted, that you are so good at competitive programming. So try to add this achievement at top if you want. And guys, if you have any doubts in between, just uh, feel free to ask me in between as well. All right. Okay. Also, guys, for the people who are sending their resumes for like for me to help them or guide them on LinkedIn, just don't forget a follow up. And yeah, that's what I want to say. Okay, please review my resume. Let's take it on. I am. This I am is not required. I believe so many eyes. Career objective. So I think this is a career objective and this is the career summary. Good enough, but you can still improve on this one. Education, again, you could have written work experience at top of education. And of course, like, what did you do in that particular thing? Like, let's say you were an internship trainee at Social Dockers. What did you do? Like, just started. Instead of writing just started, you can write working on various like, let's say if you're working on web development, working on, like, first thing is you have written 2018 to present, but now you're writing just started, so it's 2020 as far as I remember. So I think you can improve on that, right? You can improve a lot of things in this. First thing is, in each of them, like, I am an organizer at all the major events. Instead of writing I am an organizer, just write it down, that organized this event, organized that event, brought 100 plus participants in this event. That would be so much more better to read. I am handling ki jagah you can write handling all the account of fusion glass and construction. Then projects, awesome. Strengths and weaknesses. Uh, I don't think it's required to add strengths and weaknesses to your resume, but I don't see any. So it's too long, right? It's becoming very long. Instead of strengths and weaknesses, you could have written why to add weakness in your resume. Like I've never seen a weakness in the resume, but yeah, okay. And okay, excellent. Okay, so Delhi, who asked me? Okay, so Team DevOps asked me which was the best resume till now. I will not say like every resume is good, man. Every person is good. I don't judge based on resume. Okay, so Deepika asked me what is your LinkedIn ID. You can just search Madhav Behl on LinkedIn. You will be able to find me. And yeah, as Abhishek just said, so it's BAHL, not BHL. But anyways, okay, hobbies and interest. Yeah, good enough. So I believe that, yeah, I believe the first tip in on my side, Vikas, it would be that it's very very long. Second thing is that you have added so many unnecessary things like why, what's the need of this declaration that I do declare that true? Like you don't need to add a declaration. It's if you are giving a resume, it's assumed that it's true. And what's the need of your blood group in your resume? So just go through the tips which I have mentioned in the webinar, Vikas, and I think it will help you a lot. Okay, it's already 45, guys, so this one I feel this one should be the last. Okay, now this one, I'm so sorry guys, I really want to help all of you, but I can take this up in DM. But yeah, let's keep this one as the last one. Nirmal, awesome. So they have used Novo Resume. Even I use Novo Resume. I am again. Instead of using I am, you could have just written experienced designer in the electronics and automation with this. Cool. So you could have added education after skills. Like just move this education to here, and work experience. Awesome, awesome. Achievements, great. Interest, great. Skills. Overall your resume is good enough, Nirmal, but you can do this small changes, like instead of writing I am, you can just remove these I ams and move the education section to below work experience at least. All right guys, okay, so no matter where you are sending, just don't forget about the follow-up. So basically guys, the thing is, on weekdays my schedule is real tight, so I'm not kidding, it's real tight. Like I am not getting time for anything these days. So don't mind if it, even if I take weeks to review, I mean, even if I respond back in 1 or 2 weeks, but do not forget the follow-up part. And for the people who are still online, just let me know how was this webinar, and I hope you liked it. So if you guys liked it, you can just go to this madhavvel.com /tech/suggest and do suggest me for future ideas as well. So okay, one more please. Okay, oh man, I closed that. Okay, Abhishek, I'm so sorry, I closed that bar, so let's not take it today. So I'm here for 2 more minutes if you have any questions. So I will close the session at 7:50. So let me know if you have any questions and any feedbacks from me, how the session was, or did you enjoy the session? First of all, did you enjoy the session? Like I believe that any any sort of learning should be first of all enjoyable. So just let me know if you enjoyed the session or not. Like if you were enjoying it, then I think I have done my job, because if you can enjoy learning, then it's the biggest accomplishment from my side. Thanks a lot guys, thanks a lot. And again, I really appreciate all of you who are present right now. Like it's been 2 hours, 2 hours straight from the from the time webinar has started, and uh, like you're still here with me, and that's something super amazing. Like I'm glad you guys. are here till now. Okay, guys, bye bye. It's 7:50 now. See you after 2 weeks, and stay tuned. Keep learning. Don't forget about the 50 days, 50 post challenge. Bye bye, guys.